I'm Stuart Craner talking to Mark Esposito. Your new book, Mark,
Yes.
looks how the future unfolds.
Absolutely.
How can we do that? The future is unknowable.
Yeah, the future is unknowable, but we do have some certain futures, what we call some safe trajectory. They are actually unfolding, and we call them in an acronym that is easy to remember. It's called DRIVE: demographic, resources, inequality, volatility, and enterprise and dynamic. These are 5 major plots. They're actually developing, and they will actually happen for effect.
So we can know the future.
To some extent you can know. You cannot know the micro or the more detailed one, but you know that the large driving forces, the change in our society, are currently underway.
And you were talking about growth today at the European Business Forum, and you were explaining that the idea of perpetual growth is kind of a new concept.
It is. It's actually a 20th century concept that started, empowered and propelled through the Industrial Revolution, where we think about this incremental model, this nice graph that shows that growth only goes upwards. The truth is that for most of history that was not the case. So there's no fatalistic need for us to think of growth only in one dimension. What we argue, and what I argue in both the talk then in the book, is that growth can be a multidimensional factor.
So we should look at growth in a new way if we're going to actually grow and benefit from it.
Yes, and it can be definitely the tension between financial and non-financial. It can be the one in which economic and social. There should not be a trade-off between one and the other. They can be perfectly coexistent. And what we argue that sometimes growth does not look financially appealing, but it might lead to a financially appealing growth later on. And sometimes it's the opposite. You might have a great financial opportunity that does not really build foundation on a social level. And how do I recognize this? And recognize this maybe a possible demand that will actually become shortcome.
And do CEOs spend enough time thinking about the future?
I think we spend a lot of time thinking about the future. I think sometimes we spend the time thinking about the future by reflecting the past, not necessarily in Thinker 50 or in the forum, but in general, in conversation you have with business leaders, they look at the past to try to determine what the future looks like. What we try to argue and correct is like look at the present to determine what future you want to have so you can build it.
And where does your work go next? What's your future?
So my future will be in keep on working. I love to go deeper into the conversation on the future of production, the future of job, the future of the automation. I'm getting fascinated by thinking that I can shape the future rather than thinking that I will undergo the future. So rather than a bystander, I'd like to be a contender to the future.
Well, hopefully we'll be shaping tomorrow with you. The European Business Forum, this is the first European Business Forum. How's the experience been for you? It's
been fantastic. I mean, I've been a fan of Thinker 50 since its inception, but I think the forum is the necessary space where this conversation are becoming more actionable. The fact that the speaker can meet with the participant, they can have questions coming from them, make it really a two-way conversation. There is a stage, but the stage is only to initiate and trigger the conversation with the audience.
Perfect. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much, Stuart. Thanks.